I love you as a product. I love you as a service, but hey, this page, it could be better. What's going on? Vince Reed here, founder of EBOOV.com, and welcome to another episode of Ad Roulette, where we critique ads and we make them better, following this three-part framework that you see here on the screen. So here's how it works. We essentially get the scrolling, and whatever ad pops up, we critique it. We critique 2 ads, we critique 2 funnels, and then at the end, we pick a winner. And with that being said, let's get the scrolling. Drum roll, please. What do we got here? Well, we found a winner. That's me. All right, let's keep this scrolling. Let's keep this scrolling. All right, awesome. All right, so first off, this is an amazing product, y'all. Hey, I need an endorsement deal. This is an amazing product. I bought this. I actually bought this. I use it every single day, so I can't wait to do this ad. All right, so first off, the first thing we want to do is we want to check messaging. So messaging is essentially you being able to just look at the ad and understand or get a general idea of what the ad is all about. Now, again, when most ads pop up, they're going to be muted, so people aren't going to be able to hear what's going on. So visually, the messaging is extremely important. So as you can see from this ad, obviously you have people stretching. You can kind of see the gadget that they're using to help people stretch, to get a better stretch. So it's clear from the ad what this is all about, that essentially is going to help you get more flexible and help you with your stretching. But more importantly, let's see what the actual creative is saying in terms of the video to make sure that it's on point to match what we're seeing here from the messaging. So let's go ahead and let's play the ad.
Bent on the side of my hip.
How do you feel, Caden?
Oh my god. The stretch? I didn't know I needed that.
Whew. Wow. Oh, that's tight.
These people are experiencing the Castle Flex for the first time.
We can stop it there. We can stop it there. We don't even need to go any more than the ad. Demonstration, guys. Demonstration is the best way to sell anything. You have the people demonstrating the ad, and obviously you can say these people experienced it, and they experienced a stretch like they never had before, me included. Castle Flex, call me. Sponsored deal. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to get into the copy. All right, the copy essentially is what's underneath the ad. So let's go ahead and scroll up and get into the copy. All right, so struggling with back pain, plantar fasciitis, or tight muscles, Castle Flex is the #1 recovery device designed to relieve chronic pain, improve flexibility, and speed up recovery without expensive physical therapy sessions. Extremely clear, extremely well-written copy. Amazing job. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's move to the funnel. All right, so the first thing we want to do when we get to the funnel is we want to look at the headline and see if there's a clear message on the top of the funnel. When people click specifically on mobile, 99% of the traffic that you get is going to come from mobile, so they're going to click on their phone. Okay, you want it to be clear. So you can see immediately you've got the exit pop that pops up for you to claim the offer. Let's go ahead and X off of that. But from the ad and obviously from the handle, it's really clear. It's the Castle Flex, and then you've got the actual gadget or widget right in front of you. So very, very clear page headline and messaging. Not really much needed to be said, although it could have some type of headline on the top that really, again, expresses or shares what this is going to do, like get the best stretch of your life or something like that, or stretch your hamstrings and your entire body in 5 seconds without having to have some person that makes you uncomfortable leaning over you, stretching on your limbs. You get what I'm saying? Do it yourself. All right, so now let's get to the creative. All right, so there's not much of a headline here, but you can see the creative, obviously, go up a little bit. We have the picture of the tool, and you can scroll through. There's different images there, very clear. The price right up front, which is crazy. An ad literally got me to pay that. $239 for a stretch machine, which lets you know things can be sold online with the right messaging. But the creative is clear. You can scroll through, you see exactly what it is, and obviously it's mobile friendly. Go ahead and scroll up a little bit. All right, so the one thing I can say that I don't see here is the ability to just click a button and purchase above the fold. So we have to actually scroll down to purchase. Let's go ahead and scroll down and let's see how far we have to go before we can actually buy. All right, so we have to scroll down a little bit, and obviously we can, select how many we want, add to cart, and we can purchase. My rule of thumb is you want to have a button where individuals can purchase above the fold, specifically on mobile. Castle Flex, I love you as a product, I love you as a service, but hey, this page, it could be better. If you got me to purchase with this all the way at the bottom, imagine what would happen if you had the button above the fold. All right, so let's go ahead, let's get to the next one. But good job, great product. I gotta say again, Castle Flex, call me. Sponsored deal right there. All right, let's get to scrolling. What we got next? All right, so we got the ringer hoops. Okay, this is an interesting little gadget for you hoopers out there. Okay, what we got here? Okay, the images. So I'm treating it like I'm actually watching it in my news feed. Remember, first part of the framework is messaging. We want to be able to understand what the product's all about. Again, the video is going to be muted as it is right now, and I can see it's some type of gadget you put on your arm and on your hand to help you with your shooting. So the messaging is extremely clear. You got the little guy knocking down jump shots. I like it. So let's go ahead and let's press play. Let's listen to the ad to see the creative here. Oh, see, we know who he targeting with this ad. He didn't even just say anything, but we got the creative, the ringer. Can you match lines? Okay, cool, so you shoot and you match you match basically your arm with the hand thing there. Okay, cool. All right, so he don't even need to say anything in this ad. Just put some good music with a little bit of bass on there. Target hoopers. And have a little bit of text, does the job, all right? So decent creative, does its job, does what it needs to do, obviously targeting kids. Again, demonstration is always the best form, in my opinion, to sell any product or service. Anytime you can demonstrate the tool, you definitely have an advantage. All right, let's go ahead and let's look at the copy. So let's go scroll down and see the copy on this ad. It looks like it's pretty simple. #1 basketball shooting aid. One line copy. Says exactly what it needs to say to sell this product. All right, let's go ahead and click the funnel and go ahead and click order now. Let's see what the funnel's looking like here. All right, so it takes us right to the page. First thing we want to do is we want to look at the page headline. All right, so we can see here, obviously we've got the free shipping on orders over $75, the ringer, master your shot. It has a little star review, so you can see over 6,321 reviews. That lets me know that this is a valuable product. A lot of people have tried it and used it. And then we have a little bit more copy here. And then obviously you got the picture in terms of the creative and the copy of the guy using the actual tool to shoot. Pretty clear. I think that this would be better if they had a video here. A video, maybe putting it on, showing that it's easy to use, and really explaining the tool. I mean, it makes sense. You want to line up your arms, but how easy is that? How cool is it to use? Maybe, continue on in terms of the guy who was showing you how to shoot in the video in the ad. I think they should have continued this with a more intimate, like going through the actual product, having the person put it on, actually taking some shots and walking you through actually how to use it. I think that could improve sales. All right, so that might potentially hurt the creative a little bit, but in terms of mobile friendly, very similar to the last one we looked at. I don't see any button to purchase below the fold. However, I do kind of see that there is some type of free shipping offer above $75 order. So let's go ahead and scroll down and let's see what's going on here. All right, so we have, obviously we have the different types of products you can purchase. I'm assuming you can click on any one of those and buy. But let's keep scrolling down. Let's see if there's anything that's like directing me to buy. Like I want to see a button that's saying, hey, click here to buy. I want to see a button that's saying, click here. So we're still scrolling. Remember, 99% of traffic is coming from mobile. All right. Now this could look really amazing on a desktop computer, right? But again, most people are purchasing on their mobile phone. All right. So where can I buy? I'm still looking for it. Scroll back up. All right, so it looks like I have to click on one of the products. So let's go ahead and click on the first one, full barrel combo. Okay, so now I'm at the place where I can purchase, and obviously I can pick my different size, youth or adult, and then I can purchase from there. Okay, interesting. All right, so I think that there should be a little bit easier to see buttons. So let's go back. Can you go back on this to before you clicked on this? All right, so I think there should be buttons. So go back here to the products. Because we're just assuming that people are going to know to just click on the image to buy. I think there should be some buttons like buy, like something that's directing me to purchase on this page here. Okay, definitely things that we got to take note of when it comes to the grading. All right, so we'll take a look at both funnels, some good stuff here, but definitely some things that could be improved. I think that both of them are obviously really cool and interesting products, but I think could be improved by simply improving the mobile friendliness of the site. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get to seeing who's the winner. Hey, now before we get to the winner of this episode of Ad Roulette, I know it's good. If you are running ads to a webinar or a VSL funnel, check out my members area inside my EBOOV account. I want to show you how we're getting 50 to 79% conversions on our funnels, driving traffic to regular webinar and VSL funnels, and how we're using EBOOV to do it. So if you click on the link in the description of this video, you can check out our quick VSL. It'll explain more about EBOOV, and it'll take your funnel game to a whole new level. All right, with that being said, let's get back to the episode. All right, so now it's time to pick a winner. All right, so both of these ads and these products I thought were really cool, but let's go ahead and let's start with Castle Flex. Now, from a messaging perspective, I thought that this ad was extremely clear. I mean, right from the very beginning, it was really clear what this product was all about. I mean, I actually own the product, so I can vouch that it's a really, really good stretch. So that was good. But I'm not gonna, just because I've used the product, that's not gonna get you any extra points when it comes to winning Castle Flex until you call me with that endorsement deal. But anyways, the ad was actually extremely solid. Again, it used demonstration. It had different people that actually used the product, giving their testimonials. Demonstration's always amazing. I thought that was on point in terms of the actual creative. And the copy was straightforward. I mean, it was strong copy, clearly explaining who the product was for and the benefits from using it. So with that being said, I thought the messaging was strong, I thought the creative was strong, and I thought the copy was strong. And for those reasons, this particular ad gets a 3 out of 3. And that's really hard to do, in my opinion, when it comes to e-com products, because a lot of times e-commerce products usually just have some basic image from some image that they found on the internet, and the ads are really bad. But then a lot of times it's the opposite. The funnels are typically better because they spend a lot of time on the actual store. In this case, the ad was strong. All right, so when it comes to the actual funnel, okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to look at the page headline. Now, although it did a great job of really branding, you have, the Castle Flex, the name of the company on the top, there's no headline. I think it needs a strong headline, really explaining why I want to buy this product, why I should give them my money like they got for me, right? Well, maybe they don't need anything on the top, well, I paid. But anyways, they should have something up here saying exactly what it's gonna do, the most incredible stretch of your life or something like that, on the top to really help you understand what you're getting here. I thought the creative was great. Obviously, the images were scrolling, giving you different visuals to see exactly what the product was all about. But I think it did fall short when it comes to essentially the mobile friendliness of the site. I feel like it could use a button above the fold to make it easier to get more people to hand them over $239 for a stretching machine. All right, so with that being said, there was no headline. I thought the creative, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a point for that because it was scrolling and it was clear, but it wasn't mobile friendly. So for those reasons, you were gonna get a 1 out of 3 on your funnel, all right? All right, so let's go ahead and move over to the ringer hoops. Now, I thought that the messaging was really good on this ad. You had the individual shooting the basketball, showcasing the actual product. I thought that was strong. And when it came to the actual ad itself, although there was audio, there was no one talking in the ad. They just used some text there, but it did its job. Sometimes less is actually more. So I thought that was a really cool, creative way. Something that I didn't really talk about when I was going through it, but it had the different images of the products right under the ad as well. And then obviously you had the order now button. The copy on this ad was just literally one line, which I thought was clever. I mean, because sometimes, again, less is more. It explained exactly what the product was all about. All right, so for those reasons, I think that it did its job from a messaging perspective. I think it did its job from a creative perspective. And I think that the copy was clear and it matched the limited terms of the video being very, very limited, just music. I thought the copy kind of matched the tone of the entire ad. So for those reasons, I'm gonna give this ad a 3 out of 3 as well. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move to the funnel. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we got to look at the page headline. Okay, what is the product? Okay, what is it all about? All right, so again, obviously the name of the product, the ringer, master your shot. Right, if you're a basketball player, everybody wants to master their shot. I thought the headline did a great job. And obviously it has the reviews, 6,321 reviews. Lets me know that, hey, this is a solid product. Now, when it comes to the creative and the copy on the actual funnel, it's clear. It's showcasing the tool, it's showing the individual using the tool and shooting the basketball. I thought it did a great job here. But where it falls short, in my opinion, in a really, really big way, was there was really no place to buy above the fold, but also when I scrolled down, and this is again on mobile, this could be easy to see and easy to purchase in terms of the aesthetics of how it looks on a desktop computer. But when it comes to mobile, for me, it was very difficult to figure out where to actually purchase. All right, even when we scrolled down, we had to kind of click around to find it. And for those reasons, okay, I can't give you a point when it comes for it being mobile friendly. However, because you had a solid headline and because the creative was clear, I am going to give you a 2 out of 3 when it comes to your funnel, which means the ringer, you are the winner. Congratulations on winning this episode of Ad Roulette. And hopefully you guys, before you go set up an ad in a funnel, you take some of this advice and make sure that you make it easy for the people to actually give you money. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Later.